Hello again. Today we're going to be quickly going through a little bit of a session where we're going to look at a local, well, a dealership in the area near where we're at. We're going to be going into Northwest Indiana. Let me bring up the screen here for you. We're going to do a quick search and look for Subaru, Indiana, and pull up the available Subaru dealers in the area here, which we're going to go to this Ziegler Subaru, see what they have to offer, go to their website, and check out what cars they have available in the used car department. As you know, we are all about all cars all the time. So we're going to look for we're going to just see what we have out there for our proverbial needle in a haystack here coming up on the end of the month, which is typically when you find the best deals. So we're going to go into pre-owned here in the middle for this particular dealer and look for everything they have by just searching. Hopefully that's clear for you in the monitor. Let me get a little better view of it here. There we go. Now, we're going to go in here and we're going to search what they have available. A lot of times, what I like to do is get in here and sort by, uh, you can go old to new or low to high mileage. Usually, I like to go with price low to high to see what kind of excellent deals are out there for the dealership that I'm looking at. So I'm going to click price low to high. Um, so now we're going to see what they have. And this is where you're going to see their value options, so to speak. Um, this is the Subaru dealer, so they have a Mazda, Mercedes, Hyundai, Kia. We're just going to search down through here and see what kind of interesting objects of automotive admiration, as you know, we like to say in this dealership used car lot. So this is all the used cars that they have available for sale. One thing you might want to know is that what they're showing here are the cars that they are willing to sell as a sort of a nameplate car, if you will, that they would put their name on to say this is the kind of car we carry in our dealership used car uh, inventory, and that they're willing to put their name on, because usually they will put their logo on the back as a Ziegler used car or what have you. By the way, I'm not sponsored by Ziegler, Subaru, or any of these folks. We're just coming to you, giving you some information and having a good time looking around at the options that are available here. Now, we've come upon one that looks interesting. This is a 2020 Subaru Impreza Premium level, 26,000 miles. A lot of times, what I'm most interested in is the stick shift options. This one here has a CVT lineartronic transmission, constantly variable transmission. Not so interested in that, although they're a fine option, I think, if you want them nowadays, that they are a lot more reliable than the way they used to be back in the day. I believe Subaru has probably the one of the longest track records with the CVT transmissions. I believe they used to have them on their Justy products, their Subaru Justy little economical runabout from back in the, I don't know, 80s, I think is when they started producing those, and at least offering them for sale in the United States. We're just going to keep looking down through here. Now, we are not seeing a whole lot of like special vehicles, although you might have seen some that are interesting to you. What I'm looking for are vehicles that stick out in a certain way. And many of these are good, but they're not awesome. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click up here to the top, go into the search for, they don't even have it. I was going to look over here to see if they have a search option to look for the transmission, but they only have the regular options of condition, year, make, model, body style, mileage, price, or highway fuel economy. If we look into this filter again, let me bring it up here a little ways so you can see it. Filter, drop down menu, body style, mileage, year, color. We're not going to see anything as far as transmission. So we're left to doing the old-fashioned way, which is to search each vehicle to see what their transmission is. 7-speed automatic on this Mercedes. 6-speed EcoShift dual clutch. I think that is an automatic. However, a Hyundai Veloster is an interesting option. So let's check it out and see what they have for this car. Many times the transmission is not accurately uh, captured here in the statistics or in the specs. Sometimes they will say it is an automatic when it is actually a stick shift, and that is one of those things that could be annoying, but it also could be a good sign for you, because then that means nobody else knows that that stick shift is available. We're going to go through the pictures real quickly here because we're going to look for the interior shot. There we see one showing the transmission selector, and there we see that the transmission is indeed an automatic. So not quite what we're looking for, although if you're looking for an automatic, that would be a perfectly fine option. Now we're going to go back to our search. Let it load here and refresh the screen. Now we're going to go down through here and look at our transmissions again to look for the special option that's available. It looks like for the lower price cars here, we do not have any options that are manual. Well, I spoke too soon. We actually have a winner here. This is a 2018 Mazda 3 Touring sedan, which is a fine selection. If you're looking for something sporty yet somewhat useful for a family, A hatchback would be a better option if you're looking for something that is more on the sporty side or has a little more utility with the larger space in the rear. Now here we see the interior shot showing an actual stick shift for the manual shift. So that one is actually a good option for somebody looking for that manual shift vehicle. This one here is going to be not too inexpensive. It's $19,000. However, this is actually an excellent car if you were looking for a vehicle to uh, drive over to the dealer, look at this car, drive it, and then work out a special deal with the dealership. Because what you are going to likely want to do is go to the dealer on the last day of the month, go in, and let me just talk to you a little bit about this. We're going to go into the dealer, look at a car. They may come out and ask you, hey, how can I help you? And you'll say, I'm looking for something. Don't tell them exactly what you're looking for because you don't want them to pigeonhole you into a certain vehicle that is potentially not what you're really looking for. However, you're going to want to eventually zero in on the car you want. So, first thing you do is you walk over to a car that is not precisely what you want. You never go to the exact car that you are seeking. So, if this car here is the one you want, you would not drive over, walk out of your car, or drive on, or walk into the lot, walk directly up to this car and look at it, and then have the dealer come out or the salesperson come out and start talking to you about this car. What you would do is you would go ideally to the cars behind it. If you can see my screen, you can see this car back here. Maybe go look at that Nissan, look in the window, look in this Ford Taurus, look around it, look at the wheels, whatever you want to do. Kick the tires. Um, and then when they come out to you while you're looking at these other cars, at this Chevy here, maybe you say, "Oh, I'm looking for something like this, but you know, not quite, you know, have them tell you about that car." Then you would actually then walk over and say, "You know, there's this car over here, this Mazda looks kind of nice. Don't act like you're sold on it. Don't act like you are head over heels in love with the car, because that will not be good for you in the final negotiation stage. You want to act like this car is another car in the lot. But at some point, you want to say, you know what, I kind of like this car. You ask them, can you go ahead and, like, can I look at this car a little closer and let them show it to you? Then you look at it and say, well, and pick something out in it that is not quite what you like. And you don't even have to, you know, really care about what you're talking about. You could say I kind of wanted the one that was pink, not the one that's gray like this one we have here. We you wanted the one that was uh, not the touring edition, but the base edition. But you're going to look at this one and have them go get you the key, drive it, look at it, and then tell them that you'll give them. Well, let's do this. You're looking at this car. They want 19,500 for it. What you're going to do is you're going to go in there and you're going to ask them, tell them that you really like it, that you want to get it, and that you'll give them 13,000 for it. Yes, I just paused there and you heard no audio because I was quiet. I asked them, I told them that I would give them $13,000 for that car. Now, you could go lower, you could go higher. Usually, what I try to do is go low, especially on the last day of the month. Last day of the year would be even better when it's cold, snowy, maybe, or whatnot. And you just give them a low figure. Usually, that's not a good negotiating strategy because the first person who gives their first uh, dollar figure is usually the one who loses in a negotiation, right? If you paid attention to any of these gurus, they'll tell you that. However, in a way, they've given you the first price by giving this uh, asking price on the website. If you can see it here, let's see. There you go. Right down here is where they have the asking price. So they've sort of started the process of negotiation on their website. However, they usually have this price pretty high in the retail threshold because they want to come in high so they can negotiate down. What you're going to want to do is go in low and negotiate from that point of view. So when you give them the um, price that you want to give, which could be 13,000 in this case, they're going to be thinking, oh, that's not enough. That's too low. We're never going to be able to make it work, what have you. Even if you're head over heels in love with this car, you do not say anything else but, oh, that's okay. I understand. I know you have lots of other customers and you're going to want to get to them. So I'll just let it lay there and we'll just go on. At that point, they're going to start coming to your side because they're going to want to get you as a customer. And you're going to start pulling the sales associate into your camp away from the camp of the dealership. Um, Normally, he's working for them, he's working for himself or herself, what have you, and they are going to want to get the most for that vehicle for the dealership and for their own um, commission. However, the strategy you're pursuing is pulling them onto your side to be able to negotiate for you with the manager in the back or the owner or what have you to pitch the best case for your purchase of that vehicle at the lowest price possible. So you're going to offer them 13,000. They're going to come back and say they can't do that. They must have a minimum of, let's see, they'll come back say, oh, we have to, we can't go any lower than say 17,250 plus tax, title, and license and other fees or whatever they want to say. And they got to feed their family, so they have to, charge these amounts, otherwise it's unfair to them, is what they'll say potentially. Then you'll be coming back and you'll just politely say, I totally understand. I get it. I really want to just offer you 13,000. And that actually is a drive out price after all tax, title, and licenses included. So I see we're pretty far off. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I appreciate everything you've done for me today. And get up and start walking away. Shake their hand, tell them thank you so much, and start walking toward the door. Walk toward the door. As soon as you start walking toward the door, you will pull them into your camp because uh, the sales associate will be mortally mortified that they're about to lose a commission, and the manager, sales manager, or whoever is in charge is going to be looking at their figures for the month, and that's the last day of the month, and they already know they've sold so many units to that level, to that point, and to them, that's the point where one more unit could make a huge difference in their numbers for that month. And that's when they're going to come in and try to give you the killer deal of the century, because they're going to want to um, add one unit to their sold unit stats, and they're not going to care so much about the price. They're going to care more about that one car being sold from their lot that day. You're going to maximize that dynamic, and you're going to say, okay, I might be able to come back, but I've already told you what I'm willing to offer for this car, this exact car. And so if we can work it out, then I'm, you know, be glad to purchase it today, but I don't want to waste any of your time, salesperson. And that's when they'll pull you back into their office, and you'll talk to them, and they'll go back to their manager, talk about how hard it was that he almost left, or she almost walked out the door. We're losing this sale. It's not going to happen unless we get down to the price, 13,000 in this case, whatever it is in your case. And you will then work through the process. They'll have several different times when they come back and forth with different prices, plus tax title license. You're going to say it's a drive out price. You're going to say it's this level, not further. You can maybe factor in a little negotiating room to say go up to 14,000, including the tax title license, otherwise known as a drive out price. They may come back in, they'll say, oh, well, we got to add tax title and license. That's government requirements, there's regulations. Kind of let that go in one ear and out the other. And then you come back and say, well, we can figure out how much it is, and just start subtracting out each figure that they gave you for what the taxes, title, the license fees, and all the fees, back them down off of the $14,000 that you're at the moment. They'll usually realize that they can't use any of those mind tactics on you, and they'll quickly come to figuring out what the drive out price will be for you. Then at that point is when you'll know where where you stand as far as the negotiation. If they're going to just completely bow up and not sell it for the price that you've determined, you'll know then that that's not going to happen. Or you'll know, if you really want that car, that you might want to go up a little bit. However, I would suggest walking out the door anyway, no matter what. Tell them thank you. Tell them thank you for their time. I appreciate everything you did. I appreciate all of the stuff, whatever they did for you. And say, I'll think about it. I'll go home. I'll go have dinner. I'll go talk to my family. I'll go whatever. At that point, they'll know that you are going to be walking out the door, and that likely you will never come back to that dealer again to get a car, because you are likely going to go shop somewhere else, and they don't want you to do that. So, but I would still recommend that you leave. You go get a bite to eat. You go take a little breather at the mall or the shopping plaza, look around at some things. Hopefully you told them that, you gave them your phone number, you have a cell phone, they can call you, then they can call you later and say, a lot of times they'll call you and actually say, hey, we just got up a new something or another came up, and we just realized, hey, we can actually do this price for you, or we can sell it for you to you for that. We got a hold of our other whoever it was, or the manufacturer said they could do something special. They're going to come up with something and say why they can now sell it to you for that. Then you can go back over there and buy it for whatever they offered, or not buy it if they are not calling you and not offering it for that. In any case, that's kind of a rundown of what you might do in the case of a car that you found on the internet, like we did here, that you decided you want to go look at and to eventually negotiate for, kind of a from beginning to end there. There's some other aspects in there that I might have forgotten. If I have, put them in the comments and tell me what you would do in this case, or what you would not do, or give me some feedback on what you think I should be um, doing to make this a better presentation for you so that you can understand it better, or so that maybe those who are not so keen on going and negotiating with the dealer, what you would say you'd want to have for that. Just anything you want to say in the comments. Click the like, subscribe if you'd like, do whatever you want on the channel that you're consuming this content, and we'll see you next time. Hopefully, actually purchasing the vehicle that we're talking about here for 13,000, because that's what the next video will show. Hopefully, we'll see. Tune in. Thanks. Bye bye.